Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lucky Dog Gen 6 series here from Nashville Super Speedway. It's your broadcaster, William McKellar, speaking. Here we are set for 100 laps here at like I mentioned, the Nashville Super Speedway. And so before we get too deep into things, let's go ahead and let's get down our starting lineup. So a little bit different thing tonight. I guess sort of as I did last week, I'll be running this race as well. It's probably going to be the last race I'm going to be able to run on iRacing for a while. So we'll try and enjoy this as much as we can this evening. So let's go ahead and go down our quick adjustment real quick. There we go. All right, so that adjustment done. Let's go ahead and get down our starting lineup. So starting on pole actually is myself, William McKellar, in the 75. We're starting on pole. Starting second will be the 78 of Gary Sapinski. Third will be the 429 of Paul Witt. Fourth, the 24 of Jason Adams. Fifth will be the 44 of Jacob Edson. Sixth is the 57 of Jeff Gilmore. Seventh is the 56 of David Berry. Eighth, we got the 777 of Michael Pegg. In ninth, the 43 is Sandy Curtis. 10th, the 89 of Randolph Richard. 11th is the 50 of Todd Willis. 12th is the 3 of Kendall Kraft. 13th is the 19 of Ben Gear. 14th is the 9 of John Held. 15th, we have the 52 of Gary Whitmer Sr. 16th, we have the 33 of Gary Ragland. 17th is the 40 of Timothy Woodson. 18th is the 91 of Joel Guy. 19th is the 58 of Chris Ho. Should round out our field for us this evening. So I'll be starting here on pole, like I said, in the number 75 Lucky Dog Sim Racing Ford Mustang. Got my teammate 429 of Paul Witt behind me. He's gonna give me hell just about this entire race. So 100 laps here. We'll be running this in the daytime. Sometimes we run this track at night. Either way, it is a tough track. It's loose at one end, it's tight at the other end, and if you drive it wrong, those ends can switch very quickly. Going to be taking care of our tires. Concrete tracks going to chew them up like a cheese grater. So the game is going to be saving that right front tire, because once it is gone, your race is done. So we head here to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out here at Nashville Super Speedway. For Gary Sapinski, maybe thinking about a first-year start. Maybe didn't get the start perhaps he was hoping for. He's made it to my outside, and that's going to really make my corner exit here. I don't want to push up, slam him into the wall. So we head down here into turn 3. Who's bravest on the brakes? Outbroke myself. Almost wiped out the 78. That's going to open the door for the 429. Just shoot it up here going into turn 1. And so what we're going to do, we don't want to run this thing too hard. We don't want to tear up our stuff too much. What we're going to do is we're just going to settle down. We're going to settle back into a rhythm. We don't want to slide the top tires too much. Turn 4 exit. Car gets real tight there. Saw the 429 had to get out of the throttle in order to be able to make that corner. I said we're going to settle down right about the 70 corner entry. Making a lot of time there on Gary Sapinski. See, there is a difference already in how we're running this track. Gary is running a more conservative line, and I suppose I am going to do something to fix that as this race goes on. He definitely seems to have a better turn 3 and 4 than I do. I appear to have a faster turn 1 and 2 than he does. We'll see how long this lasts. We know Gary Sapinski is one of the best when it comes to saving tires. At 429 of Paul Witt gets into the wall, squeezing down into the ground. It's okay. We're talking about how tight this track can be. It can change in an instant. If you're following some of these tire tracks, this car can get real tight, real fast. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. Except, you gotta throttle control. Throttle control is a big thing when you're watching Gary Sapinski. Looks like he's slip sliding around a little bit on corner exit there going into turn 2. And hopefully as this run goes on, we see him slip sliding around. If he continues close to him, about 1.1 seconds between us and the 24 of Jason Adams. So that's a pretty decent margin. We got really no pressure out back. Kind of just run our race. We're real easy. Attack the wall there. We're real easy on this right front tire. Try to take it a little too easy there. Just kind of back off, roll the corner as much as we can. Smart get into it too crazy. So we're able to pull out another 0.2 of a second there on Jason Adams, just that lap. So hopefully we're able to keep doing that. Having Gary run the race, run as hard as he wants. Here's where I'm at right now, is I'm just trying to maintain over the guys behind me and try and manage Gary's gap. Hoping that if I can have a little bit better tire later on in this run, I can come back and really challenge. That's the thing with Gary. I know how fast the man is over a long run. He's a hard man to beat over a long run. So you've got to manage your run at the beginning to the middle better than he does. And that's certainly our goal this evening. It's not going to be an easy one. You definitely need to be careful. It's so easy to put too much fuel into the car as you're going around this track. Really will wear out the front tires of this car. There comes a point, you know how many degrees you need to turn that wheel. You turn it 1 degree more, and all of a sudden, all the handling goes out. Here's the fun thing. So we pulled out 2 seconds above third place. And we're maintaining here about half a second behind that 78 car. 78's doing the exact same thing. He's just maintaining. He doesn't need to run too hard. We're about a half second back. From this far back, we can't throw a challenge to him, and he knows that. So he's like, all right, I've got a decent lead. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to maintain this. Now, what we're doing, how we are running, is we're kind of forcing him to run a little bit faster than maybe he would like, but building ourselves very nice now, and the guys further back. And we just kind of settle in. Lap 10 of a 100-lap race. I mean, track position means a lot here at Nashville, especially. I mean, track position in these Gen 6 cars is ultra important. And as of right now, we got some really good track position. Obviously, Gary's got the best track position being out there with all that clean air. But we're not exactly in a bad spot. As we take lap 12, just kind of hanging out right now. See how this car feels as we get later on into the run. I do believe I was looking, I still have 53 laps of fuel on this tank. So we can go long. It's the fuel window is going to be absolutely huge. And so then we've got to wonder, is the best thing to do to come down pit road earlier, like, lap 44 maybe, with as much fuel as we've got. We can make it to the end from lap 40 if we want to do that. If we want to stretch it later, come down closer to lap 65. What is going to be the play over the course of the run? As I'm running into problem. This 78, it's hard to follow in his tire tracks. There's really one fast lane around this track, and Gary Sapinski is in it. So that's really hurting our ability to get up off the corner. I'm noticing primarily we seem to be pushing. We adjusted our entry at all, and that might be what we're going to have to do. Back up our corner just a little bit more. We're still maintaining a decent gap here, but we might be pushing too hard. Go here, turns 1 and 2. Tag the apron a little bit there. That'll push us. Gary Sapinski was almost a second out ahead of us. Take our time. Roll these corners. This car is getting real tight, especially on turns 3 and 4 for me. anything right now, we already know coming into a lot of these races, Gary Sapinski is the guy to beat. And so we would like to beat him. But that's going to be a little bit of a tall order. We are 3 seconds ahead of Jason Adams, 4 seconds behind our leader. He's currently dealing 0.2 of a second ahead of the 56 David Berry. Very, very fast driver. They are now 1/10, about a car length separates those two. David looking to get his way up to the front, does not want to hang out there in the back. Wants to get ahead of Jason Adams. He knows that Jason Adams, because of the distance between me and the 24, he's going to have the benefit of a lot of clean air if he can get ahead of Jason. And I mean, he might be able to do it right there. Like I said, only about a car length. Guys, they are side by side there. We got about a 5-car battle, it looks like, if I'm counting that correctly. They're for the 3rd position. Those guys just not quite able to clear each other. Jason having the benefit of being able, he can block the top, he can block the bottom. He can keep those lanes going just about as fast as he wants them to. If he doesn't want them to pass him, I mean, with how they're running, it's not going to be a difficult thing to keep them back there. Sandy Curtis inserting himself into the conversation. Jacob Edson there in that 44 coming right with Sandy. All those guys just trying to find their way around that 24. He's got about 0.4 of a second over it. I don't know, we'll see that thing update. I don't think that's accurate looking in my rearview mirror. He's got a little bit of a gap there on him. Just trying to maintain that position as they single file out there for a few rows, and you get what looks to be a little bit of side-by-side racing a little further back. But with all that racing they're doing, 78 and the 75, they're just breaking out there, doing their best to gap that field. 75 looks like he's given up quite a bit of time there on his corner entry through the middle of the corner. He seems to be going really slow there through turns 1 and 3 and the center. That's allowing that 24 to catch up a little bit. The other thing is that 24 has got a little bit of a nice draft push from the guys behind him. That 75 is going to have to figure out something. Continue to be able to make pace also. 78, Gary Sapinski's pulled it out full 2 seconds here over the 75. He's willing to bet. My big problem, I don't race with these guys as much as I like. I'm up in the booth a lot, so thinking of maybe talking with the guys who run this, see maybe I can call more of these from the car. I know this season I've called quite a few more races from the car than I originally intended. Only thinking about calling about 1 a season. I think just this season in the Gen 6 cars, this will be my 3rd broadcast from the cockpit. I think that's kind of cool myself. I have a lot of fun doing this. It is not the easiest thing in the world to be able to do this and be running. I mean, I'm running second, 2.2 seconds back from our leader, but man, I'm running second while doing this. I feel pretty good. So I think we're here to take about 25 to a few laps, just enjoying the sounds of the race. So I'll catch you in a few. we come back with you here on lap 30. Gary Sapinski pulled out 3.5 seconds over second place. Second place has almost 5 seconds on third, and then from third on back, man, we got a large group of cars just all there running about within a second and a half of each other, all fighting for position. There's a bunch of cars really hanging on. That 50 of Todd Willis was able to get past the 24 of Jason Adams, finally moving Jason there out of that third position. Todd Willis has not managed to get away clean. 24 Jason Adams is fighting back. They've got the 44 Jacob Edson right there with them, doing his best to insert himself into the pictures. It looks like he is side by side there. If I'm reading my relative correctly, he's going to be right there with the 24 of Jason Adams. They come off turn 4 heading down that Nashville front stretch. Those guys racing very hard. Talk about a track that really destroys your tires. Those guys are going to be dealing with some very tight handling cars here before too long, if they're not already. I mean, what I'm hearing from, what I'm experiencing myself and what I'm hearing from a few other folks in the event, handling on this car for a bunch of people appears to have already gone away. This is a very challenging track. It's all about saving those right sides, whether it be the right front or the right rear. Some folks struggling with getting loose, some folks wrestling with being tight off the corner, especially coming out of turn 2. I mean, turn 4, my experience, is usually the one that bites you, but a lot of people complain about the car being very loose coming out of turn 2. I can understand how that would be a major problem, especially back there in traffic dealing with all that dirty air. It's not going to be an easy thing to maintain a good handling race car when you've got, 2, 3, 4 or more people ahead of you, all trying to challenge each other for position. As we look out front, Gary Sapinski absolutely checked out 4 seconds over second place. He's able to take the lead there on the initial start. He is just gone with the wind. Looks like we have some people already hitting pit road. Kendall Craft be the first person to come down pit road, more than likely to take 4 tires and fuel. We were talking about some folks already talking about how the handling of the car has gone away. Be willing to bet that 3 is really fighting an ill handling race car. As we see on our relative 40 and Timothy Woodson, he's only 12 seconds. Sorry, I believe it's 8 seconds there in front of our leader, Gary Sapinski. He's in danger of being the first car to go a lap down on track. Craft leaves his pit stall. Was put down a lap by the 78 of Gary Sapinski, but he's going to have those fresh tires. He's going to be absolutely flying once he comes off pit road. I think he's going to merge right there in front of our third place driver, now John Held. Well, we're busy looking out the windshield trying to say whatever, report whatever we've heard, what we're seeing. John Held managed to take that third position. Go ahead. Consider the 75 here. William McKellar has lost about a second of the gap that he had on third place. And John Held's about a half second ahead. So for him, I mean, he doesn't have to deal with all those people all over him like the 24 Jason Adams, 50 of Todd Willis, like those guys did. He's got the benefit of having a pretty much a clear racetrack. He's got the 777 of Michael Pegg that he's bringing with him. Those guys are going to be something to talk about here before the end of this race. appear to have stabled out a little bit, just watching that there for a couple laps. 75 able to find a little bit of speed, not too much, more one of the kind of speed that just stabilizes the gap between himself and third. That first place car is still scooting away. Really no chance of catching him unless that 78 makes a mistake. You know, it is unlike Gary Sapinski to make mistakes. I think we've seen him maybe speed on pit road once, twice over the course of the season. Here in the Gen 6s, it's not. If you're hoping for Gary Sapinski to slip up, you might as well just park the car, because it's not going to happen. You got to do what you can to try and mitigate your losses, keep up with him, maybe try and beat him there on that pit strategy. Gary Ragland, he's coming off pit road. And that 3 of Kendall Kraft slowed down the 9 of John Held, getting around him. Kendall trying to get up here, get his lap back. Expect the 6 of Gary Ragland to make short work of the field, as Gary Sapinski has caught the 52 of Gary Whitmer Sr. Just about, no, that's the 40 of Timothy Woodson. Going to catch the 40 of Timothy Woodson, put Timothy Woodson a lap down. Kendall Kraft now about a second and a half ahead of John Held. He is really coming, doing everything he can. He wants that lap back. There is a bonus point here in Lucky Dog, finishing every single lap of the scheduled race. Obviously, if you go a lap down, you can't do that. 33 of Gary Ragland makes his way around the 40 of Timothy Woodson. That'll put Gary here in that Lucky Dog position. So 40 of Timothy Woodson calls out that he is pitting from the 3rd lane. I've never seen that work before. I gotta congratulate the 40 there. I've never seen pitting from that high up work, but he made it happen. Gary Sapinski 6 seconds now ahead of second place. Second only 3 seconds, about 3.3 seconds ahead of third. Lost a lot of time around those lap down cars. I mean, they were just going by him. Second was just getting past and just really sacrificed a lot of time there, but still making our way around the track. This car is very slow. '75 moves up out of the way of the faster 3 car, recognizes that John Deere machine. Fresher tires, got to let him go, especially if you're going to maintain your gap back to the 3rd place car of John Held. John Held, week over week, rapidly becoming one of our drivers to watch. Someone that Gary Sapinski, Michael Pegg, Todd Willis, Jeff Gilmore, everyone's got to keep an eye out for is that 9. That 9 is coming. That Tide Ride is making plays. And here, Garrett Sr. are down pit road, as is the 777 of Michael Pegg. Odd seeing Michael pit this early, but it's one of those, he knows he's not going to win if he runs the strategy of that 78. He's got to do something to be able to make up some time. Not only make up some time, but make up some positions. If he can pass some of the people who are currently ahead of him by pitting before them, getting some better lap times than them on fresh tires early, maybe that'll pay off for him in the long run. We'll see exactly how that pans out. We've seen pitting early be the play. We've seen pitting late be the play. Question is, what is the right call. Sandy Curtis, Todd Willis, 9th and 10th. Both of those cars down pit road, taking 4 tires and fuel here, just about the halfway mark. And I think that's probably the best thing to do is cut this thing into some even stages of 50 laps. These cars still have 12 laps of fuel, so can you run it out? Not entirely certain. As the 78 of Gary Sapinski, he comes down pit road. That's going to hand the lead there to the 75, William McKellar. So that's us. We are, after starting on the pole, finally getting our lap led. Maybe the 9 of John Held. He's come down pit road, gotten his 4 tires and fuel service. So let's now comes the strategy. Is the better thing to stay out? 75 is going to stay out. Oh, I'm not even going to play coy. I'm planning on running this thing dry. And where I finish is where I finish. I know I'm not going to win doing what Gary Sapinski did. I can't pit after Gary Sapinski and expect to beat him. And if I'd have had to pit way too early ahead of Gary, almost 91 brings out a caution, does not. That is a talent. Sideways, hitting the outer wall, almost to a complete stop. No caution. Tell you who would have loved to see that be your leader. Force everyone to take a wave around. Currently only 3 cars have not pitted. The 75, the 57, and the 89. Those are your 3 cars still out on old tires. Gary Sapinski gets biased to get his lap back. 52 of Gary Whitmer Sr. Gonna see if he can follow his way through. 75 going high, let that 52 through down there on the bottom, trying to lose as little time as possible. Still with 7 laps on this tank of fuel. Wonder if the better decision might not be to just run it until lap 60 instead of running it empty. As 19 of Ben Gear goes by, gets his lap back. I believe that one of his laps back. I believe that puts him 1 lap down to see if he's running. 40 of Timothy Woodson looking to make his way through and get himself one of his laps back. Timothy is coming. Caught the apron there. That was not something I was expecting to do. I think actually, with what we're feeling, we're coming to pit road this time. We are barely able to make pit road there. Almost spun out on entry. That is, I mean, these tires are absolutely fried. Almost no grip left in them whatsoever. Now, we will be giving up the lead to the, here to Gary Sapinski here as he goes by right there on the outside. We were losing a lot of time. Heard someone behind us blew a tire. It's unfortunate for them. So we gave up a lot of time, a lot of position here as we see the 6, 7, 8, all these guys. 8th place looking to make some time here. 7th goes by, 8th goes by. We just come off pit road, tires and fuel. Come out right ahead of 9th place of 33, Gary Ragland. Now we won't have to run near as far on this set of tires as everyone else is going to have to. And that's really where the benefit is. We can make up fairly deep. We know we're already faster over a long run than a lot of the guys that passed us, but now we get to try and put the legs of these tires to work. Don't want to overdrive it. I think we're doing a little bit of overdriving that last run, so if we can avoid that, we should be good. Go ahead and get some sort of idea how much we were overdriving our car. We only had about 14% tread left on our right front tire. Our right rear was at 49%, so we were definitely driving this car a lot further and a lot harder than we needed to, and it was really coming back to bite us in the long run. So here with 40 laps to go, got to be careful that we do not repeat that mistake. Here we're going to go ahead and give another few laps, just enjoying the sounds of the race, so enjoy. I've here been talking to myself for the last 4 laps. Didn't realize I had my mic muted. That is the benefit. So that is the con of racing with a VR. You can't see if your little red light is lit up when you're talking. At least I haven't figured out the overlay. There's an overlay for that for your VR. I haven't figured out how to get that to work yet. So maybe I need to figure that out if I'm going to keep calling these races from the car. But to go ahead and I guess a little bit of a recap, just commenting how much. I mean, it's about 10 laps different in tire wear that I have compared to the other guys here inside the top 10. We are running faster than all of them. We were 8 seconds behind Michael Pegg. You know, we came off pit road and really looked to see what we had to do. And here with 23 laps left in this race, we're within 2 seconds of Michael. We're running in 3rd place. He's running in 2nd here. We know he can see us because we've been able to see him on our relative for quite a while. We caught 44 Jacob Edson, 50 of Todd Willis, 24 of Jason Adams, caught all those guys. Blew by them almost like they were standing still. And that's just fresh tires. They mean so much here. I can't think of anything else. I mean, tires mean so much, and you keep those tires fresh through a lot of throttle control. You roll the corner a lot, maybe at 3rd to half throttle just to maintain speed. You got to figure out, when do you put it down? Do you put it down? Do you just casually roll everywhere? And see, that's 777 of Michael Pegg. He's having a whale of a time getting past that 52 of Gary Whitmer Sr. Gary just running up there against the top, trying to let Michael by, and just Michael not really able to make any kind of time while they were side by side. So there's only one real good line here, and it slides way out to the wall. If you got someone here outside, you are just not going to make that line work, especially here at Nashville. It is not an easy track. As we have caught the dirty air of Gary Sr. and Michael Pegg. It's really starting to affect our ability to make lap timing, where we were, catching Michael by 1/10 of a second every lap. We only caught him by 1/10 our last time by. We were 1.5, now 1.4. We're not really making that up right now. We got to slow way down here behind that 52 to be able to get this car to rotate. Now, we were able to make up a bunch of time there, about 2/10 of a second on Michael Pegg, so it looks like we might just have a better turns 3 and 4 than he does. That 52 sends that car up the track, try and give us the room we need. It's going to be right there, not quite able to slide to the wall, but we get by him. And that's just the nature of the beast here. There's really no good place to catch a lap down car. So we are now within 9/10 here of 2nd place. See if we can reassume that 2nd place position. We are 14 seconds back from the leader. I mean, I mentioned when we came down pit road, we were giving up a lot of time on track. And I mean a lot of time on track here. We stayed out on those old tires. And I feel fairly confident saying Gary Sapinski, we're here. No, I'm super happy. Gary's here. You don't learn by winning all the time. You learn by losing. You go back and you see, what did he do to beat me? And you figure out what he did, and you figure out, okay, can I do that? If you can't do that, you find something else to do. Do everything you can to better yourself as a driver. That's why I sing the praises a lot of these Lucky Dog guys here. We got a really fantastic group of guys. I mean, we've had a couple incidents that, almost were cautions, but 84 laps going on to 85. We're caution free at Nashville. This is a hard track, and we're making it work. Got a bunch of guys in here that you can learn from. Remember, we were talking, several of those guys, they were catching us there before we really started thinking about pitting there we had a group of guys on lap 30. They were really starting to track us down. We now settle in behind the 777 here. We're going to beat him as a better drive up off the corner. That's how we're going to have to do it. The 33 of Gary Ragland, both of us are going to have to go around him here. We're going to have that shallower line. We're not really going to be able to shoot this the way that maybe we were really hoping to get around Michael. We already know we got a better turns 3 and 4 than he does. If we can get to his inside on corner entry going into turn 3, I think we'll be able to pass him. But it's all going to come down to setting it up here through turn 2 exit. We got a heck of a run. So here we come. Just sending it down here. Show our nose, let him know we are going by down here on the bottom. He pretty much just moves up, lets us have it. We get super tight, hit the wall, have to get out of it there. Ooh, that was almost a caution. Kept it going straight. Now we've shown where we're weak to Michael. Michael knows. Now all he has to do, go ahead and let us have that high side. Go ahead and let us have that bottom going into turn 3. Okay, I'll cross you over. You can't hold that line. You can't hold that speed. He knows now. So now we've got to figure out what do we do, because he knows how to beat us. And that's the thing about Lucky Dog Sim Racing. Everybody is always keeping an eye on what you're doing. They're figuring out how to beat you. Michael knows we're better in the corner. He knows we're better rolling the center. We get a lot of speed coming off the corner. As here, we're going to do it again. And I guarantee you, he's going to see us show that nose. Try and cross over. We're going to try and push him up the track. Did not work. Try and get him to run a little bit higher lane. We ran way too deep into that corner. Maybe trying to make this pass from a little bit too far back. See how this shapes up. I think this time maybe we're not going to show our nose. I don't know. Just go ahead and roll. Just go ahead and roll, and then, like we normally would, just run it like we normally would. Like we weren't trying to make that pass. And that keeps us side by side. That's what we're looking for. We're going to go ahead and dive this apron here, cut a little bit of distance off the track. And we're going to send it here into turn 1. We are able to make that pass, but he's still out. Oh my goodness, caution is out. Here, 9 laps to go. Oh, that is a heartbreaker. Gary Sapinski was gone. He had absolutely checked out. No one was going to catch him. And that benefits everyone behind him. We're all just here trying to catch up with pit road open. I think it'd be foolish not to come down pit road and take tires. As we come down, I believe we see the 78 of Gary Sapinski. I believe the 24, Jason Adams, was one who was involved in that. If I'm hearing what I'm being told correctly, I might not be. If I'm wrong, I am sorry, sir. Go ahead, drop it into first gear. We're not going to get past Gary Sapinski. Not going to pass him on pit road, and there ain't no way we'd be able to hold him off. That's for sure. Take 4 tires and fuel here. Jack drops. So we're able to get off pit road. I do believe we might have sped there. We'll see. We're not currently showing a black flag. I know that iRacing is a little weird about when it will let you speed and when it won't. So we will be restarting outside of the 78 on this restart. That's got to suck there for the 78. He's going to have the pole sitter sitting to his outside. He's going to have the third, the second fastest, I'd say second, third fastest car behind him on this restart. What's going to happen? And then the 44, Jacob Edson. We know Jacob, when he shows up to play. He'll be restarting outside in that fourth position. How is this going to go? So we are 2 to green. We'll be taking the green flag on lap 76. That's a 5-lap shootout to the end. A lot can happen in 5 laps. So if you guys stayed out trying to get their laps back, number 9 to John Held, 429 for Paul Witt, I believe that's the 91 there of Joel Guy, all staying, waiting for that one to go wave around. Now we saw that 78 was able to pass us pretty easily on the outside on that opening lap on fresh tires. So obviously what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and do the same thing to him. And he knows it. He knows what he did. He knows exactly what he did. So he knows exactly what I'm going to try. I don't even need to tell him. But it's going to be a hard-fought run to the end. At this point, this is where almost where you more of the open mic can say, I'm holding my foot in it until I see God or the checkered flag, and that's might be how this race pans out. Cautions can breed cautions, but Lucky Dog only has one green-white checkered attempt. So if we get a caution, if we get 2 more cautions, that's the end of the race. So we'll see exactly how this plays out here as we make it to the end of this event. Said it'll only be 5 laps to go when we retake the green flag. We've got a lot of fast cars here. Let's go through our top 5 for this restart. We got the 78 of Gary Sapinski restarting first. 75 William McKellar restarting second. 777 Michael Pegg in third. The 44 of Jacob Edson will be restarting fourth, and the 50 of Todd Willis in fifth. We got some fast cats behind us. 56 Jeff Berry is restarting in 6th place. Jeff Gilmore in 7th. Both of those guys, folks, you need to keep an eye on. They are fast, and they know they're fast. With only 5 laps, you burn those tires up. Burn them if you got them. And that's what I think all of us are going to do. Is we're just going to send this as hard as we possibly can. Gary Sapinski, fire. Tried a first gear start on that initial start, and I don't think it worked out for him. We will see as we get to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. We head off here into turn 1. Gary Sapinski get about a half. Caution. Caution is out again. Someone must have spun there on the start. It's unfortunate that happens. Now, all those guys who took the wave around, they've got some, they weren't caught up in it. They've got some good news. They can come down pit road. And they can get more fresh tires and fuel, something they weren't able to do last time by. Gary Sapinski doing that smart thing. He is sending this car off there into turn 1, warming up those tires. We'll follow him, do the same thing. Just get these things nice and toasty. As we catch up here to the pace car going into turn 3. As he pulls up, it's like, hey man, slow down a little bit. We're catching the pace car. So we'll check up. Of course, this will also give someone their lap back. I believe this caution will put us in green-white checkered territory. It's been a long time since I've seen a Lucky Dog green-white checkered. Looks like the 43 of Sandy Curtis is going to be getting the Lucky Dog pass. So I'll go ahead and put the 43 back on the lead lap. I think that gives us a total of 11 cars then on the lead lap, I believe. Gary Ragland be able to, John Held be able to come down, Sandy Curtis, all these guys who had to stay out, be able to come down and get some get some 4 tires, get some fuel in that car. You know, Sandy Curtis, he's going to absolutely love being able to get some fresh tires on that car. Those things have got to be worn out. We take our 2 to go. This time, this is our only attempt at a green-white checkered. So I feel confident in saying once that green flag drops, the next flag ends the race. So what we need to do is we need to make this car stick on the outside. We have got to keep it alongside the 78 going into turn 1. We've got to stay alongside coming out of turn 2. We have got to be ahead alongside going into turn 3. We've got to pinch off his run out of these corners. That is our only chance of beating the 78. We know we're faster. We were faster in qualifying. So we know on fresh tires and 2 laps, we can go faster than the 78. The question is, under race conditions, are we faster than the 78? And that is a huge question. That's something that everyone behind us wants to answer. The 50 of Todd Willis, the 44 of Jacob Edson, the 777 of Michael Pegg, 5th, 4th, and 3rd, respectively. All 3 of those guys trying to, they want to go ahead and say, no, I was the fastest at Nashville. Gary Sapinski led just about every lap up until this point, but I think that is just one of those instances where you can absolutely dominate a race from start to finish, and it all comes down to whether or not you lead the last lap. Just about all of us who have been on iRacing have had that race that one time as we take our 1 to go signal there, lights are out on the pace car. We've all had that instance where we've been absolutely dominating a race. We get beat by a late race caution. We've all had that happen. I know one of my wins here in Lucky Dog came at Kentucky at the expense of Michael Pegg. Michael Pegg had that race won, but at Kentucky, I was faster on a long run. We had a 10-lap shootout. He could not keep pace. I mean, you give us 15 laps, my tires start falling off, 20 laps, and he probably would have passed me back. We've had that happen before. We've all here in Lucky Dog endured that heartbreak. Does the 78 have what he needs to be able to hold on to the lead going into turn 1 and have it coming out of turn 4, taking that checkered flag? We will see. It'll be 2 laps to go this time by left in this race. We'll see how this pans out. Pace car is off. We are headed back to that Geico restart zone, waiting for that green flag. It is out. About dead even start from the top and bottom, but you got to go a little bit further way around here on the top. Not quite able. Ooh, we overshoot the corner just a little bit. Too much speed. Looks like we just about gave that one away. Trying to hold on. Caution is out. That's the race. Unfortunate. So, see what our finish is coming across the line here. It'll be Gary Slapinski in first, 75 William McKellar in second. I believe it'll be the 777 of Michael Pegg will be finished in the 3rd position. Congratulations to all of our drivers. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen a Lucky Dog green-white checkered finish, and I think we just kind of threw it away there going into turn 1. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this car parked, and we will have our driver interviews here in a minute or so. So they're going to have to get back around, get to where we can park this thing. Alrighty, we have our top 3 finishers here. We'll start with our 3rd place finisher, the 777 of Michael Pegg. Michael, this is William in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Michael, fantastic race tonight. I mean, definitely a hard-fought race. Saw you start maybe not exactly where you wanted. Looked like you got mired in traffic there quite a bit during that first start, able to rally back for a 3rd place finish. Go ahead and walk us back through your race. How are you able to get past all those guys that seem to just sort of freight train you?
Well, I got all the way to the front of them, and then they wouldn't let me by. And I said, well, they'll burn our stuff up shortly, and that's what happened. So I just had to bide my time, and then started picking them off one by one.
Yeah, we noticed definitely that pit strategy was something that really came into play later on in this race. It seemed like the later you waited, the more speed you had in the long run, but the earlier you came, the more you're able to build that gap. Do you think, what part did your pit strategy play in getting you all the way up here?
I needed to clear some people. I knew if I pitted early, I could get gone. So I was trying to clear some traffic, get gone so I wouldn't get held up.
Well, it definitely looks like you were able to do that. I mean, I guess sort of for you, a little bit of a disappointing finish there. It's been a long time since we've had a Lucky Dog green-white checker finish, especially not being able to finish under green. So do you think if maybe we'd gone green, you'd been able to go ahead and move your way, maybe challenge the 78 there for that win?
On about 78, I know me and you were having fun there until it ended. Yeah, 78 was already in another zip code. Yeah, he checked out. I got too much traffic. He was gone. He's really fast here, though.
Yeah, no, it seemed like he started in the 513 area code with, I don't know what Nashville's area code is, but it looks like he started in the 513, which is Cincinnati. He ended in the 434, which is a completely different state.
Yeah, he said he's good at Texas. He could have been born in Texas, and then again, he could have been born in Nashville. I'm not sure.
Well, congratulations on your finish there, Michael. Like I said, I mean, this track, it's one lane that's fast, and so it's a Herculean effort to be able to go back from being mired in traffic to go ahead and move your way up to the top 3. So congratulations on that finish. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Sure do. We'll thank all the regulators, especially one anytime they win, and appreciate it there, Gary. And we'll thank Reggie here. We got new internet tonight for the broadcast, looking crystal clear. I want to thank Lucky Dog Broadcasting. Thank all the Lucky Dog members. I want to thank Tracy, Molly, Cash, Winston.
Well, again, thank you for taking the time to talk to us, Michael. Congratulations on your finish, and we hope we get to talk to you next time.
Thanks, sir.
So that'll go ahead and lead us. I mean, we would interview your 2nd place driver, but you've been hearing me jaw jack all night. So we'll go ahead and we'll move on to our leader here, the 78 of Gary Slapinski. Gary, this is William in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I will.
Man, you were fast. I know I was good over a 2-lap period, enough to get the pole, but you took the lead on that first start and just checked out. I want to say when you came down pit road, you had something like 8 seconds on the rest of the field. What is it about Nashville that just seems to click with you?
Tire management. Gotta take care of those tires, and this racetrack seems to have a little knack for me to kind of take care of that tire here. Because my first run, I was only 50-47 in the rear, so that was pretty good. And I'm pretty sure that's probably where I was at the second run through. It was pretty close.
Well, that definitely tells me you were saving tires a lot better than I was. I went 10 laps further than you, and I was 14:47.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that was
a lot right front.
Pushing way too hard.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
With that, if we didn't have that caution that put us in green, white, that put us with that 5 to go, you definitely would have had this one in the bag by, I think if I was looking at it correctly, you were 12 to 14 seconds ahead of the closest guy to you. Were you worried at all once we got down into that, short run, what looked to be a short run situation?
No, not really. Felt pretty good there. I felt like I can just hammer through the gears there and just hopefully I don't overdrive it. That's what I was worried about, overdriving it.
You were able to, I know I threw it away there on that last restart going into turn 1, just completely overdrove the corner, trying to do the exact same thing you did to me on that initial start, just not able to make it stick. No, it's a difficult track, and like we were mentioning on the broadcast, you just going out there and absolutely dominating the race from start to finish. Going to give a lot of these guys something to go back and look at on the on that replay. Maybe see what you did, see if they can do that, and maybe do it better.
It's quarter entry. I noticed a lot of people just overdriving it going in. That's basically all it is.
Well, a lot of these guys are struggling with the corner exit. Listen to a lot of guys talk about how loose it was coming out of certain corners, how tight it was. The entire track, it's like Dover. It's just a concrete cheese grater out here, and it's out for your right front.
Oh yeah.
So absolutely dominating performance. Congratulations on your victory there, Gary. Is there anyone you would like to thank before we let you go?
Well, I'm going to like to thank you today, and a special thanks to you for all this broadcasting you're doing for us. You did a phenomenal job up until I know you gotta shut it away for just a little while here, but I think you're expecting someone coming to part of the family. I want to say congratulations to you. I'd like to thank all the members of Lucky Dog. I'd like to thank Brian, Lucky Dog, Michael, everybody out there watching. Thank you very much. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and God bless.
Well, thank you, Gary. Again, congratulations on your win, and hopefully we get to. You'll definitely hear from me Thursday, but
okay.
Hopefully we get to talk to you next time.
Okay. Congratulations. See you later.
And sort of like Gary was alluding to there, yes, probably Thursday this week is the not going to hear from me for I don't know. I would say an indeterminate amount of time. My wife is giving birth next week. We know it's next week. The doctor said that she come hell or high water, we're giving birth next week. So be welcoming a little one into another little race fan into the McKellar household. So you will not hear from me at all next week, I can almost guarantee. But I know that we do have our season finale here for Lucky Dog Gen 6 series. So if you want to see who comes home with that W, more than likely coming home with the championship as well, go ahead and tune in next week. It'll be the same time, same channel, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at Lucky Dog Sim Racing. We'll have our Wednesday night series tomorrow, 8 p.m. and same channel, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then you will hear from me again on Thursday, probably for the last time for a while, for our truck series, again, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hope to see you there. If you like what you saw, go ahead and drop us a like. If you didn't like what you saw, I mean, go ahead and drop us a dislike. I mean, I'm not going to be offended. Love getting all kinds of feedback. Go ahead and leave us a comment. Let us know how we could do better. And most importantly, I think if you subscribe, well, second most importantly, if you want to subscribe and share us with your friends, that'd be fantastic. But I think more than anything, if you want to come out and you want to run with us, see if you can go ahead and show that 78 that you're faster than he is. Definitely come out, look us up on Lucky Dog Sim Racing on iRacing. Got a little bit of something for everybody. We are always recruiting. So hope you all had a fantastic evening. Hope you had as much fun watching as I did calling it. And until next time, have a good one.